Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is a special video for the Nolan Hockey Podcast. So, we are covering the free agency, and what part of the free agency, you may be asking? The Jets part of the free agency.
Yep.
So, as we've discussed before, and you know what, we're just going to go overall, arching some of the moves they made in the offseason, such as drafting Cole Perfetti, which we covered in our draft video. Re-signing Laurent Brossoit, which we decided was a good sign. $1.5 million.
1.5 mil?
Yeah, it's not bad. Dylan DeMille re-signed for $3 million for 4 years. Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, since then, they have been busy. So, should we talk about the big one, or should we move on to the small ones? What do you think?
Well, I think maybe chronological order. So I think
all right, so the big one. It's the
big
big one. It's
yes.
the big one. Paul's come home. He's back. Paul Stastny has been reacquired by the Winnipeg Jets in exchange for Carl Dahlstrom and a 4th-round pick. Now, if any of you are thinking about this and wondering why is this pick so lopsidedly towards the Jets, it's because it's a cap dump. The Vegas Golden Knights are one of the most ruthless teams in terms of player transactions.
Oh my goodness.
They are.
They're all over the place.
No, they will sacrifice their mother if it got them another win in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, they pick up and drop players seemingly all the
mercilessly.
time. All the time.
They are literally the living embodiment of the Robots movie. Why be you when you can be new? But literally, and they're also, and they're in trouble.
This team's too old.
Stop it. They're in trouble as well, though, too, because they either have to move Fleury or Nate Schmidt, apparently, has been told. But we won't talk about that. We'll talk about this move.
Yeah.
So this move was a cap dump.
Yeah.
The salary for Paul Stastny is about $6.5 million. It's a little bit of it's a big chunk of change. However, this solidifies everything the Jets were looking for.
Is it a $6.5 million cap hit?
It is. It is on average. Now this totally cements the top 6 for the Jets, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Paul Stastny. Now, yes, okay, yeah, we'll cover that at some point. But Paul Stastny is a solid centerman. He is. He played second line for the Golden Knights. He looked fine there. He had a great line tandem with Pacioretty and Stone, and I expect good things. The idea is they will play him with. If they do the same what they did a few years ago, they'll play him with Ehlers and Laine, which was a good combination. What they could do, a thought, put him and Wheeler and Ehlers together, move Laine up and give him first minute and first line numbers.
I'd say start with the.
We'll start with the things you know.
Start with what we had before with Stastny when he played here, but. If Laine's really doing that well, maybe move him up. Maybe, and you know what? I'd say maybe give it a hint and a nudge throughout the season. Like I know Paul Maurice will sometimes do that, where he'll throughout the season he'll make a move and he'll do it for even just a game or two. And they did it, for example, people were saying and they were saying this during the Heritage Classic. People were messaging being like, hey, Maurice,
you can move.
You
can split up
Scheifele and Wheeler. You know that, right? And shortly after, he actually did do that a little bit, and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Well, I think what we have to remember though about this move, and everyone's excited about this, and I don't blame them. However, you know what? We need to remember a couple things. Stastny's in his mid-30s right now, early to mid-30s. There is a drop-off point for forwards. Where a forward can no longer produce the same way. If we look at guys that are aging in this department, we look at guys and we see guys like Justin Williams,
who's now
retired, who
yeah.
put up points, but he was not a first-line caliber guy. No. Patrick Marleau's probably the best guy, I would say, but then you get a counterpoint to that with Joe Thornton, a guy who he's a glorified 4th liner. Does he put up points? Yes, but if you stick him on the ice long enough, he's gonna get a point. Yeah. So we need to remember that at some point, and I think that, and there's only 1 year left on his contract, so that's okay. But we can't get too optimistic. We still have to work for everything now.
Yeah.
And actually, I see this signing and the signings we've made for the most part, puts the Jets in a put up or shut up situation, because you know what, we have complained about our lack of center depth and our lack of defense, and we're getting defense, not all stars, but you know what, I don't like the price of what Pietrangelo is worth, and I don't think we should have spent.
No, it's just
because
not worth it.
the chance of regression there could kill you, because you lock down that contract. I think there's no more excuses now. You have your top 6 that you wanted.
Yeah.
Like, because we talked about this. Jets fans talked about this all the time. They were like, well, if Stastny didn't leave, we would have a really good team. Yeah. Well, he's back now.
Snake's back in the pit.
Shut up. He's back. There's no more excuses in terms of your offensive potential.
Did you see what Blake Wheeler's kid?
Yes, Blake Wheeler's kid is a mood. He is the mood. He's like,
I was gonna burn this, but welcome back.
Well, it starts with, sorry, I can never cheer for you ever again. And then Blake Wheeler's was like, oh my god. Because you didn't think it'd say, hey, sorry, almost burned this. Gonna have fun back in Winnipeg. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Especially with, I like their signing that they did today. It was Derek.
What'd you say about going chronological order?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Look at the list, boy.
Okay, I mean,
next is okay. We gave up Carl Dahlstrom, who was not. He was an AHL defenseman playing on NHL minutes because of our injured reserve.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw a few Moose games. He looked alright. He didn't look amazing.
Next is Nathan Beaulieu, $1.25 million for 2 years.
Solid.
Like it. I like it. You know why?
Why?
Because he's a hitter. He plays the body. He plays a physical side.
And we need that.
Yeah, like
desperately.
Pionk plays a decent amount.
And if
Morrissey doesn't a lot. He doesn't have to usually. His puck handling is actually pretty good.
And if you look at like the series this year, like the Flames versus the Jets, the sole reason, like Calgary, they bullied the Jets.
Yeah,
they straight up bullied them.
Milan Lucic was a factor in that series. The last 2 years,
words I never thought I'd hear ever again.
The last 2
Milan
seasons
Lucic was a factor.
Well, you know what though? That really sticks to a lot of team success nowadays. Like St. Louis's defense were bullies when they won the Stanley Cup. Colton Parayko was a menace. Yeah. But even this year with Tampa, what took Tampa's team over the top, which we've said, was the grit. Was their ability to compete at that level of physicality they needed to in the playoffs.
And all they had to do was pick up a few players.
Yeah.
That's all they did. They picked up a few players that seemed great.
Yeah, no all-stars or anything, but yeah.
No, like, I mean, Zach Bogosian.
Zach Bogosian.
The Norris Trophy.
Anyway, but yeah, Nathan Beaulieu, 1.25 for 2 years. And honestly, I watched that interview. You should. Did you see that interview I posted on my story
with
Nathan Beaulieu talking?
Yes, I actually did.
Watch it. It's so.
I did.
It
was
really
him talking about the city and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Well, his resigning, because guys like that, honestly, and he's been around a couple teams. He's been with the Canadiens. He's been with the Sabres. He's a guy who likes the
Wild as well.
Maybe. No, that's Viteto. That was
okay.
Viteto, by the way, got picked up by the Rangers.
Yeah, because we had someone.
Which is okay.
We lost someone to Minnesota, then we got him back. That was Viteto? Or was it? I thought
Matt Hendricks?
I thought it was Beaulieu for a second.
No, it was Matt Hendricks.
Oh, okay.
100% it was Matt Hendricks. Okay. That was a while ago, though. But Beaulieu's a guy who likes the atmosphere of the locker room that he's in, and he likes the guy. Yeah. And obviously, you can tell the bond between the players are good there. Because guys are just like a good sign for the record. If guys are commenting on their buddies re-signing things, like Morrissey commented on Lucas Spiza re-signing, which warmed my heart in so many ways.
Oh yeah.
Speedy Spizas. That is a shout out, and I do not apologize.
I don't expect you to.
But like
absolute killer ball.
Yeah. But Beaulieu's a good guy to have, especially he's a middle four, like the middle second line, third line option. He's probably, in my opinion, I wouldn't say he's a better version of Tucker Pullman. He just has a different set of skills than Tucker Pullman. Tucker Pullman has a little more playmaking in him. However, he's not as physical as Beaulieu. So I'd rather take Beaulieu.
Yeah.
Lucas Beasley signed. I like this one. Honestly, for all of you people going out there saying, "Oh, he's depth," blah 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 blah. Shut up. You're right, he's depth. But you know what? I'm fine with him on the third line. Put him in on the third line minutes. I like him. The dude's got a good shot when he needs to put it on net. Honestly, he was not like a meme form like he was when he played for
form?
Yeah, that dude was a living meme when he played for the Vancouver Canucks. The Vegas Golden Knights, he played on that team that went to the final.
Yeah.
He cost them the game. He was on the ice for the tying goal by Devontae Smith.
This is a great re-signing.
No. He was on the ice for the tying goal by Devontae Smith-Pelly, and he was the guy in front of the net who didn't tie up Lars Eller when he scored the game-winning goal.
That was him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Turned it over behind the net too. Yeah, but you know what? Like he's since rebounded, and he's had a really good season with Winnipeg. $800K for 1 year, yeah, easy. Mason Appleton re-signed for $900K for 2 years.
That's all right.
Appleton, it's tough.
We've pulled him up a lot.
I always compared him. Appleton was the guy I always compared to Lemieux, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't see much specialty in Appleton. To me, he looks like a weaker version of Jack Roslovic, and Jack Roslovic is kind of underperforming as it is, but that's okay.
Jack Roslovic is being a weaker version of what Jack Roslovic was supposed to be.
Cole Perfetti's gonna be the next. The next of what
Cole
Jack
Perfetti is hopefully going to be what Jack Roslovic should have been
thrown around there. It's nice.
Shifley's getting thrown around what?
That he's going to be like the next Shifley.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, but no, like Appleton, him getting resigned's fine because it's $900K. And honestly, if you're gonna get mad at a $900K contract, come on, it's not worth it, honestly. I don't hate Mason Appleton. I just think there are parts of his game that he needs to improve. I always compared him to Brendan Lemieux, and I always thought Lemieux was better.
I've always liked Lemieux.
I thought in that trade when we traded that first rounder to the Rangers, I always wanted to trade Appleton instead of Lemieux because Lemieux, we were able to keep him on a leash. That guy is an absolute psychopath when he's not on a leash. His penalty minutes skyrocket, but he was somewhat contained when he played with Winnipeg. Anyway, now moving on, our next pickup the Jets made was Nate Thompson, veteran Nate Thompson, at $750K for 1 year.
Don't have much.
Not a lot to say. I'll say this: he's fourth liner, so he's probably taking the spot of like a Nick Shore type guy. And honestly, I'm okay with that because you know what? As positive as a guy as I am. The only thing I remember about Nick Shore was how many times I kept hearing them say, "Nick Shore just missed the net. Nick Shore, that shot is high and wide. Nick Shore with an open net." Like I don't know if that guy I don't think got a single goal. He had no finish. Like he lives the farthest place from finish. He couldn't score to save his life. Like. Ay.
How many games did he play up?
A lot.
Really? That many?
A lot.
How many?
I don't know, Carter. I don't have it on me. But anyway, we re-signed CJ Seuss, which is a glorified Moose player, for $725K for 2 years. Then we signed from the Florida Panthers, Dominic Toninato, for $700K for 1 year. So, what is this contract? People might be wondering. This contract, by the way, is a prove-it deal. It's to say, okay, so you've been kind of languishing on a Florida Panthers squad that hasn't really, used you properly. Let's see what you can do here.
Yeah. Now,
I think there's potential that he can play third line, or he'll play fourth line. Because here's my logic. Because people have said, oh, he'll just be like a healthy scratch guy. I don't think so. You know why? Because you don't pick up healthy scratch guys now, usually. You see healthy scratch guys get picked up as the year goes on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, guys don't get picked up just to be healthy scratches in the early stages. If you're picking them up, you think they're going to play most of the time, unless defenseman where there's only limited spots. But he's a forward. So then that all leads up to today's signing of Derek Forbert.
I like this.
Defenseman, $1 million. So you tell me your thoughts on this, because I've been talking a lot.
And, well, as I was saying before, the Jets' struggles that they've had was they had that issue with that second line center that they but that's fixed. They filled that, and I'm hoping that Stastny is gonna have a lot more of an impact. Like, he's what, a two-way forward, right?
Stastny?
Yeah.
Playmaking.
Okay. Well, exactly. Well, I'm hoping that with Stastny that he can find those lanes for Laine and whatnot, and Laine's playing his game, because I mean that can be a bit of a crapshoot at points. But what I like about this signing is 6'4", what is he, 215 pounds, something like that. He's got some size. I'm hoping that he plays with a bit of grit, and because need more of that. I mean, and think of it this way. Like, the Jets on paper have a fantastic roster. Tampa on paper, now I'm not saying we have as good a roster as Tampa, but Tampa on paper has a fantastic roster, and all they needed to do from one year to the next was just pick up some grit. So I'm hoping with a few of the moves that we've been making, and this one specifically, picking up some grit, that it'll make a big difference. So only time will tell.
Yeah, so let's just kind of what are, like, that's funny. If we're comparing this to a lot of action around the league, I would say our destiny is very compared to a team like Toronto's.
Yeah, I don't like that comparison, but
you might not like it, but it's very
true.
accurate.
It's true.
Because think about it this way: what do we have? Scoring. What does Toronto have? Scoring. We have a goaltender. Toronto doesn't know if they have a goaltender, but they should know that they have a goaltender because their goaltender is Frederik Andersen, Danish Batman. Do they have defensemen? They got one. We have about one. We have one or two. They have two good defensemen. They had two good defensemen to start this offseason, which was Jake Muzzin and Morgan Riley. We had two. We had Neil Pionk and Josh Morrissey.
How long is Pionk signed for?
Pionk?
Pionk.
Oh, Pionk's got... Yeah, right. Pionk's got one more year in his RFA deal that is an entry level, and then we have to pay him. So, I see us giving up... Just to look forward, I see us, if Pionk has a year like he did like last year, we're going to pay him at least $5 million.
5?
We're paying Josh Morrissey like 8. Like, if you, like, you want to...
How dare you give a defense plate?
No, but you know what? That defenseman put up the most points on the power play in the history of the Jets as a defenseman.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. They play him all the time on the defense.
You're talking Morrissey or Pionk?
Pionk? I'm not kidding. The bar wasn't high. Apparently.
Jeez.
I guess, like, what the logic is when
so you're telling me that right now the Jets are setting defensive records with the team
for themselves.
Well, yeah, the franchise records, but still.
Yeah, low bar. They played at Atlanta. Do you know how many wins the Atlanta
Oh yeah,
had?
I forgot we didn't get our records back.
Do you remember how many wins Atlanta had in the playoffs?
I was forgetting about Atlanta.
Do you remember how many?
I was thinking the old.
How many wins did Atlanta have in the playoffs, Carter?
What, 0?
0.
Exactly.
They got swept by the New York Rangers. That's a fact. That's a history fact for you. And their teams were honestly decent at times. They had guys like Danny Heatley, Bobby Holik, the original Evie Kovalchuk, not some clone that came back from the KHL and is masquerading in the Washington Capitals organization. He's a UFA. He's a UFA.
Oh yes. The absolute veteran stud.
He's aged actually. He's aged okay.
Although I remember when he was coming back, there was like a good amount of people saying that he's gonna
so much money.
There's
LA gave them so much money.
How many did he get?
Like $7 million.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
100%. Let me look.
Yeah, because like I remember there being so much hope and expectation with him coming back.
This is the guy.
Like this
a
guy,
37-year-old?
like this
Are you
37-year-old.
sure?
He's gonna be the face of our franchise for years to come.
No, okay, don't go that far. Ilya Kovalchuk.
But it was one of those things when he was coming back. I was like, like he's gonna be all right, but he's not. This is not gonna be the Ilya Kovalchuk that we saw.
$6.25 million for 3 years. Let me put this in perspective. Shifley makes about the same amount of money.
I thought Shifley made less.
It's close. He's somewhere in the six million range.
I thought he was making like 5.5.
No, God no. We're not that lucky. Good Lord. No one signed. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. No one signs a long-term deal like that for $5 million. That is still developing to become a franchise.
Oh
signing.
yeah, I know.
No
But then
one
again, I
signs
knew that Shifley was taking that deal thinking that it was like safe and cap room.
Yes, but anyway, no, he took that deal because he hadn't blossomed yet when he signed it. Then he blossomed after the fact, which is the hindsight that you have to always think about when you're doing free agency deals. But like honestly, like if I look at this offseason, it wasn't and you know what? There were a lot of rumors going around. Like I've heard Roslovic's name out there. I'm not.
I'd be okay with
opposed
him
to it.
trading Roslovic.
I'm not totally opposed to them trading Roslovic.
Like he's just. I feel like
we can't find a spot for him that
like
works.
he's just. I'm starting to get impatient with Roslovic.
And it's funny.
And and like the thing
I
is,
was
like,
at the game where he got his first career hat trick. I was at that game. It was 9-3 against Anaheim. It was great. But like, he just doesn't have an explosiveness to his game.
He doesn't have an explosiveness, and he doesn't have a clear fit in the roster. Because when we drafted him, Roslovic was this like, okay, this is going to be our future second line center. This is going to be him. And you know what? Like as time's gone by, we've kind of put him in there the second line center position. He's done. He's done.
Oh, you know what? That
and
reminds
they take
me
him down, and then
there's two things
got
we need
put
to
to
talk
winger.
about before we run out of time here. There are RFA contracts that we need to get signed right now.
Who?
Jack Roslovic for one, and Jansen Harkins is the other one.
Harkins played pretty well when he came up, didn't he? Yeah.
Harkins played good.
I like
Harkins is a good bottom sixer right now because the reality is of his situation is that he doesn't have the natural born skill to be able to make it to the top six. However, he does have the work ethic to put himself in a good middle six spot.
Yeah, I like that. I like
honestly, that. I will never forget. They played Harkins with Shifley and Wheeler one game, only for a bit. They played him a couple times in the first time, which I thought was an amazing call by Paul Mears. I'm like, oh great, he's not just force feeding older veterans down my throat. That's a great change. Harkins got an assist in that game, and I was like,
how do you do?
He looked okay. The thing is that what Harkins lacks in skill, he more than makes up for in work ethic.
Yeah.
And even I've heard this before. If the entire Jets had Harkins' work ethic, we probably would have beat Calgary. Like we probably beat Calgary in the play-ins. It's just like the guys that don't have it, they want it. Like guys like Kopp, stuff like that. Lowry, I don't always hold to the same standard. Lowry's become more of a role of a physical presence because he's needed to do it because he's not fast. He's slow.
And you know what? But I love the physical play of Adam Lowry. Like
he owns up to it.
And you know what? And I was at the game where it was, I believe, against Arizona. It was Lowry's first game back after injury.
That was so good.
I was at that game.
That was so good.
I was at that game.
The camera pans to him in the anthem.
Yeah, the camera pans to him in the anthem. We are all in the stands, losing our shit.
Let's go.
And like right off the start of the game, Bang! He absolutely crunches someone at center ice. Then goes into the corner. He kills somebody behind the net. He gets into a fight, and he's starting to beat the hell out of somebody. This is like a minute into the game, maybe. And it's his first game back from injury. He knocked 2 guys right on their asses, and then is beating the living hell out of somebody behind the net. Absolutely loved it. We were losing our minds.
Legit, it was such an thing. So like honestly, moving forward, obviously there's some stuff.
I want to see more of that.
We need to talk about still in free agency, which we will cover.
Yeah,
there's some stuff that
Should we maybe wait for the big one?
Well, one of the big ones happened today.
Well, one of the big ones happened today, but there's one more that still needs to happen.
There's one more main one, but
Yeah.
there's other moves that we need to see.
Yeah.
Tyler Toffoli.
Isn't Hoffman?
Hoffman hasn't signed yet. So just for historical relevance, yeah. Taylor Hall signed today with
Buffalo.
Buffalo for $8 million for 1 year. We won't talk about this here because we don't have enough time. And we feel like that would really offset where the focus is in this.
And
video.
we're gonna have that in our next one because there's a lot more free agency.
We're probably gonna record it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow and see how much.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna be
because it's one of those things where you don't want to record it and then right after it happens and then after that there's nothing else. Like we have one video.
Something else. Yeah, no, yeah. I get that. Yeah, so honestly, I think that's gonna do it for this video.
Yeah, we'll have to just kind of wait on our next one.
So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, or even if you didn't, you can lie and say hit the like button. Please subscribe, share it around. We are trying to grow the channel. We really appreciate everyone watching it. Do go follow the Instagram.
No One Hockey Podcast.
It'll let you know every time we drop new content, which is great. And it'll give you a brief description of what you expect to see on it, which is always good because I want to know what's inside something before I watch it. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time.